Baldur's Gate. You know, I never quite believed I'd actually make it back. Wasn't until we got within reach of Worm's Crossing that it felt real. It's so strange. I don't remember much of it, yet I can't help feel like I know it. It feels like home. I suppose it is. Though the chance to savor the moment might be brief, given all that still lies ahead of us. I may have to rely on your local knowledge to plug the gaps in my own mind. Hopefully, I'll remember more than I expect to.
I received a dispatch from the Grove. Life carries on there in our absence, just as nature intended. My chosen successor, Francesca, has proven to be a wise choice. Perhaps the wisest I ever made as Archdruid. Wounds have healed. Damage has been undone. Balance has been restored. Those who seek to serve nature there can once again do so with all their hearts. There have been difficulties. Some initiates harbor too much admiration for Korga's course of action. Francesca will do what she must to rid them of such notions. She is well suited to the task. Better than I, perhaps. To cleanse a land of shadows is one thing, but to sway a heart from a dark path is another matter entirely. I was all too eager to surrender my responsibilities towards the Grove. Perhaps I was never meant to be Archdruid, to be a leader. Still, though, I cannot help but wonder if there was more I could have done. Perhaps, Oakfather willing, I may yet have the chance someday. Forgive me. The Shadow Curse occupied me so entirely and for so long, I almost missed the purpose it gave me. Now I must find a new one.
I've had a lifetime's fill of watching little men buff themselves up with grand titles. I look forward to the day we show the Archduke that his tongue is not half so silvered as he thinks. Of course. He'll share his rule. What use all his brilliance if there is no one to bask in it? But even if we unite to command the brain, it's not as if we can leave the city under Bane's boot heel once it's done. We'd be back to the same old battle. Still, if you see sense in making an alliance, I won't question it. I'll just look forward to the inevitable breaking Gortash spoke of. It would be irritatingly true to form, would it not? A Harper learns to doubt, to peer through every smile, question every look. Eventually, you find what it is you fear, whether it is there or not. When we cannot know, we can only trust. But then, that is exactly what a traitor in our midst would say. Isn't it? I have. And while I do not love my conclusion, that does nothing to change it. The Harpers are the city's best information network. With them out of action, we shall have to fall back on second best. Nine Fingers Keen.
A name known and feared throughout the city's underworld. The mysterious Keen runs the guild, which in turn runs every criminal enterprise in the city.
Nor are we. But I trust she knows the value of collaboration, especially in times like these. How hospitable she will be to a Harper that comes begging to her guild hall, we will find out. Perhaps I will let you do the talking.
This is the city proper, is it? I didn't expect it to be so outrageously ordinary.
I made it back. I'm here. Thank the gods. Thank the gods.
The bustle here takes some getting used to. Crackling fire and a tresson for company is usually more my speed. Still, we must flow with the current we find ourselves in, however tumultuous it may be. If you've need of me, I'm glad to help.
Gods, this is the first time in 200 years I've seen these streets in the sunlight. You can forget just how much color there is in the world. Yes, of course. Obviously. Sorry, did you want something?
Sorore surge, testis esto pacti me. Come, sisters, be my testament. Notum sit in beator.
Notum sit in beator.
You've heard of such devils. Sisters of justice. Adjudicators of diabolical contracts and bargains.
Holy hells.
Fina, Cirrus, arbiters for the hells, exemplars of justice.
Enough, Mizora. Where is my father? How do I save him?
How else? We bargain. Sisters.
Infernos contractos te vocamus. Infernos contractos te vocamus. Infernos contractos te vocamus.
Your contract, Will. Signed in blood, forged in fire, bound in bone, but not unbreakable. No contract is ended without sacrifice. A cost must be paid. Will Ravengard, a choice is before you. Option 1. I show you the way to your father. I guarantee him no harm except that from you and your allies. And you pledge your soul to me and the archdevil Zariel in a pact eternal. Option 2. I break your pact and you are freed from your duty. Your father dies by his enemy's hand, and Baldur's Gate loses its greatest champion. Name your sacrifice.
Bloody Zariel. I won't let her take Will.
Silence, Karlak.
Mizora, you asshole!
Choose. Addendum F. The Absolute must be avenged for the Soulbinder's detention at Moonrise. The Soulbearer retains his gifts until such time as the Absolute is slain.
You damned wretch! Father. Do it. Break the pact.
Fiat ita.
Fiat ita. Anima ad beator.
Didn't think you had it in you. Seems my boy's all grown up. And don't go fussing about your father. You made your choice. You knew the terms. You know what? I think I'll stick around. Not for the greater good, you understand. Just for the entertainment.
Chuk. The devil Mizora's made herself quite at home, hasn't she? Do make her feel as unwelcome as you can.
I can't believe Will's given up his soul to Zariel. For a father he fell out with ages ago. There's such a thing as being too good. Someone ought to tell Will Ravengard.
Time and again, Will's plight reinforces my decision not to pursue the path of a warlock. It's one thing to make such a sacrifice in the pursuit of such a pact, but to do so in order to escape one. Truly, it leaves you with nothing.
Will gave up his father to have freedom. An understandable decision. Sacrifices must be made after all. Especially if the old Duke's fall means his rise.
I did not know Duke Ravengard that well. But I am sure he would not want his son to become slave to Zariel for his sake. I am sure Will knows that. But we would do well to remind him when his days grow dark. No one truly understands the weight of loss until they've worn it a while. There is no shame in sharing the load when you need to.
Will sacrificed his own father. I hope freedom from the pact is worth it to him.
Gods. I spent 7 years choked by Mizora's leash. And I spent 7 years hoping to break free. I never knew freedom could taste so bittersweet. I didn't. I don't. My sacrifice kept Baldur's Gate safe from Tiamat's rage. But that doesn't mean that the leash never chafed. That I was content to lap up whatever nonsense Mizora fed me. The leash has been broken and my father left for dead. Tomorrow I celebrate my gain. But today, I mourn my loss.
A moment passes. In the stillness, you find a mote of tranquility.
The Ravengard name now lives solely with me. I will make it count for something. I signed his life away before the Hell's Witnesses. It would be easier to drink the Styx down to the last drop than to alter his fate. I'd be a fool to wish otherwise. We obtain the final 2 Netherstones and take back our minds. And the city. From the brain.
Will sacrificed his own father. A hard choice, but not one that is unknown in nature. At times, a seedling must strangle the very tree that bore it, if it's to survive.
Psst, keep a lookout. The Mortarch don't take kindly to raising the dead, but I won't be long, I promise. My big brother, Garrett. He got killed by that murderer guy, but I'm gonna fix him. Now, keep watch. Exorde me, Merkel. Resuscita frater meum. Immorte ad me redigo eo.
The air crackles with power before fizzing out. The child has power but lacks control.
Oh, you're close, Merkel. I can feel your shadow. Give my brother back, please. Like this. Resuscita fratrea meum. Immorte ad me redigo eo. I ruined it. I ruined everything.
It was another day in the City of Lies, Baldur's Gate, where the people begged for justice until they starved. 2 heroes were fated to cross paths that day. their eyes met, destiny was calling. Strangers? Only in a fool's definition of the word. It was the start of something incredible. Two heroes on the hunt for justice, no matter the cost. All the Tall One had to do was say yes. The Tall One had passed the first test. The second would come when they were ready, and not before. When would they be ready? Only the Tall One and Fate truly knew.
Park's no place for a stroll anymore. More likely to find a muggin than a picnic these days.
You feel an all too familiar squirm in the recesses of your mind. She has a tadpole.
Or perhaps you'll find something bloodier. The Absolute's warriors are at work, just beyond here. You'd be wise to not interfere, sister. Nothing's going on. And even if there was something, you'd be wise to ignore it. Absolute's business. Got it? Now be off. You'll attract attention. In her name.
It's not a lie. If you would just listen, I could explain.
You have done quite enough explaining, Volothamp Gadam. You have poisoned the very hearts and minds of these good, kind, gentle citizens with your lies, your delusions, your conspiracies. Though you hide behind a mask of stories, we have seen beyond the veil. We see what you really are. Fearmonger. Hear, hear! Attention seeker. Hear, hear! Agent of chaos.
Your parasite stirs in recognition. This man is infected.
Let the hells follow! Today, citizens, we rid ourselves of this cankerous sore. Today, we burn away all falsehoods. Today, we will be divided no longer, for today, we rise in truth.
Psst. Don't just stand there. Help me, goddammit! Help me!
What's this? Another heretic in our midst? Another mind clouded by the disruptor's lies? Another soul to cleanse? Well, we are nothing if not gracious. Let us see if we cannot lift the veil from their eyes too.
No, please, no! God, I really thought I was done for. I suppose thanks are in order. What's an heroic story without a little risking of one's neck, eh? And you know what they say, the bigger the story, the more people want to kill you for it. I'll tell you all about it. But not here. Too many eyes, ears, and weapons about. Meet me at your camp.